This is the all-new Nissan X-TRAIL. It's by a long shot the best looking X-TRAIL yet. It's also the best equipped, and in this e-power spec, the most environmentally friendly X-TRAIL ever. And it has to be, because the X-TRAIL is a medium-sized SUV. These things are everywhere. They're a bit like, well, Married at First Sight or Love Island, those TV shows. And don't be judgy here, because like those shows, these cars are popular. I'll put it in another way. 30 different brands sell medium-sized SUVs in New Zealand. So it's not that easy to stand out. X-TRAIL has always been a first-class family car, but the design and interior was, well, more solid economy class. So welcome to X-TRAIL Makeover, and there's a real confidence to the styling now. I mean, heck, 20-inch wheels on an X-TRAIL, and it's unique enough to stand out in this congested segment. But I tell you what Nissan haven't done, they haven't supersized things aside from the wheels. This is pretty much line ball with the last X-TRAIL. What isn't line ball, not even on the same sporting field, is the interior. The entire range looks good, but this TIL is loaded. Let's start with the screens. There's a heads-up display, TFT instrument cluster, and there's a 12.3-inch infotainment touchscreen. It's got navigation, CarPlay, Android Auto, and that CarPlay, by the way, is wireless, as is the charging. And one more screen, the rear view mirror. Now, being a family car, you want it to be safe, and the X-TRAIL delivers. It's scored top marks in ANCAP safety testing. It's got every safety feature, including speed limit sign recognition. For all the tech, all the luxury, the X-TRAIL remains practical, like these back seats, which slide backwards and forwards by quite a bit. It means plenty of room for staff, people, or both. And there's storage space in and out, with the roof rated to hold another 100 kilos. Let's talk luxury, and I'm serious here. Napa leather seats, a 10-speaker Bose sound system, ambient lighting, and heated seats front and rear. And yes, I double-checked that the badge said Nissan, not Infinity. At Giltrap Nissan, new X-TRAIL starts at $47,990 up to $66,990 for this, the TIL e-Power e-Force. Yes, it's a mouthful, and that brings me to the really head-turning stuff about this car. You see, the Nissan X-TRAIL has always stood for practicality, reliability, space, and value. Simple. What the X-TRAIL has never been is hard to define until now, at least in this model. I'll try to explain, and I promise this isn't a riddle. This car is an EV, but you can't plug it in. It's got an internal combustion engine, but it's not a hybrid. Here's how Nissan explain it. Basically, this is an EV with its own power station on board. The 1.5-litre engine produces 105 kilowatts, which goes through a generator and inverter to charge a 2.1 kilowatt-hour battery. Which in the world of EVs is not much bigger than a cell phone battery, but keep in mind that 55-litre petrol tank is effectively a battery as well. And to give Nissan some credit, you can fill that up a lot faster than you can charge a battery. On paper at least, there is some genius at play, because that 105 kilowatt generator powers a 150 kilowatt motor in the front and another 100 kilowatt motor in the back. Now, the closest I've come to driving a car like this is the old Holden Volt. And it wasn't quite the same. For starters, you could plug it in and the petrol motor could drive the car in some situations. And while this is new for me, e-Power is not exactly novel. There are 430,000 e-powered Nissans already on the road. It's a lot of people who like the idea of driving an EV that you fill up like an ice. Now, the lack of a big battery means it doesn't have that otherworldly low centre of gravity you normally get in an EV, but it also doesn't have to move the extra weight around. The EV setup here adds just 250 kilos. The only drop is the tow rating, down from 2,000 to 1,650 kilos. Well, upside of the electric motors is torque vectoring that works exceptionally well. As a result, this is without doubt the best handling X-TRAIL I've ever driven. But it's not about the handling, it's about the ride and refinement. And it's super comfortable, but that 3-cylinder motor plays a big part because it's not linked to your right foot. It only runs to charge the battery, and it gets about its work super quietly. The result is better economy, 6.1 litres versus 8.7 litres per 100, and it's faster. 0 to 100 in the 2.5 litre version takes 8.9 seconds. In the e-Power, just 7 seconds. So there's no plugs, but also no clean car fees, with CO2 rated at 139 grams per kilometre. Radio, time for some consumer advice. If you opt for the 2.5 litre version of this X-Trail, you can save a bit over $5,000. You get all the shiny bits you see here, but I'm also intrigued by the whole e-Power tech. It's greener, it's faster, it's quieter. And you know what, if you find someone who's interested enough, you can fill in quite a bit of time explaining the tech at your next barbecue.